riding on a Saturday with my guy. I'm kind of enjoying the day, and we got into a big discussion about the Carlee Russell case and also about fake news, content creators, and real news. I was showing him on my social media how some of you guys just got hopping mad at me because I was simply reporting some facts that later came out during the press conference, and there were some people saying, well, with the press conference you can't believe what the police officers are saying, all that. So I wanted to have a discussion with you guys today about what real news is and the responsibility of credible news organizations as opposed to, say, content creators, because there's a blur. And I think it's because most of you all grew up during a time when the news or the newspaper wasn't the only source of news. So let me give you an example. With the Carlee Russell case, when I was a crime reporter, this is how that would have gone down. That crime story, or alleged crime story, happened after the evening news. So what would have happened is that a press conference would have been written by the local police department and faxed out to all of the media outlets, all the TV stations, all of the local newspapers. The assignments manager would come in at about 2 a.m., see that press release, and then call up a police officer, and then their public information officer would stand at the outside of where the alleged crime happened. The morning show producer would come and do live shots about it, and that would be the first time that anybody heard anything about it. Then I would come in as the crime reporter. I would get the press release and see what the public information officer said from that morning, and then I run with that story. I'll get all the facts, get interviews from the police officers, any updates. Then I start walking around the neighborhood, talking to the family, talking to the friends, and seeing if anybody saw anything. Then I would do a live shot at noon for the noon news and say, hey, this story is still developing, but this is what happened in the Carlee Russell case. The next thing is I would work some more and get more tips. 5 o'clock, do another live shot. Hey, this is what we found out. These are the facts. At 6 o'clock, we're going to tell you the facts, and then I'm going to talk to her parents. 6 o'clock, do another live shot, talking to the parents, talking to the neighbors, casing the joint, any information that I could find. I would put together a full story that's called a package, which is similar to what I do here on TikTok, where I show the video and I may throw in some interviews and you hear my voice. So we record that and put that together. Then at 10 o'clock, by that time, it's time for me to be off of work. I'm off of work around about 6 o'clock, 7. I leave that story for the news anchors. The news anchors come back. They put both of the stories together, the facts and everything incidental that I found out about the story. Then you have your late night news. Next morning, this whole process repeats. But what we have now is that we've got social media. And so people can look at news stories, talk to people. People can lie on the internet and talk about the stories. And from the standpoint of what's going on over here on this page with this content creator, former journalist is that I will do similar to what I did when I was a news reporter. Unless something is confirmed. And what is confirmation? Confirmation is that there's a press release or the police have done, like I was able to watch the press conference. A lot of the stuff that I shared with you all, other reporters that were there already saw it. They put it on the site that we all talk on. I mentioned it, but until a police officer, an investigator for that case, gets up and actually says, hey, here's the proof, and this is what we saw on her phone, and this is what we found, then it's not confirmed. So I'll do like I normally do. I'll say reportedly, according to, sources say. I don't say police say. Now, sometimes sources get it wrong. Sometimes police get it wrong. Sometimes police lie. Sometimes, so in a developing story, so a lot of you guys come and you get upset because something is reported. I may say that sources say that Carlee didn't leave her wig there. And then you find out, well, she did leave. She had her wig on her head, or, she didn't leave her wig. Oh, you lied. You got that wrong. It's a developing story. It's no different than when I'm standing outside of a school shooting and we don't have any information other than the fact that the children are running, the helicopters are going, the police officers are going in. I can report what I'm seeing. That's what I can verify. But if a parent runs by and says 12 kids have been shot, and said, according to a parent that ran by, one of the parents, or try to interview that parent, what have you heard? Well, my kid texted me from inside the school and said 12 children have been shot. By the time we get to the 10 o'clock news, we find out that 20 children were shot. All of them survived. And so we're looking at a developing story. So you can't come to a page of a journalist and be like, well, that Well, you reported that because there's one thing that I did report, and then I said, according to sources, and a lot of you all jumped in my comments, the police didn't say that. But the police said during that press conference that because she was a young lady, there were some things that they weren't going to reveal. And that could be either the truth or the lie about the abortion. That's what it could be. So I wanted to talk to you guys about that. Now I'm going to come back and we're going to talk about the difference between fake news, real news. Let's go with fake news and real news.